Hey everybody, it is time once again to take a look at the hottest and coldest teams currently in the NHL. This is always fun to look at every week, and we've got some changes this week for sure from last week's list. So before we get into it, this video is brought to you by BetUS, America's favorite sportsbook. You can get a sign-up bonus of 125% on your initial deposit when you sign up today. Link in the description, BetUS. It's a great day to start winning. But let's get into it here, and you guys know me. I like to start with the positives, so we're going to look at the hot teams first. These are teams playing really, really well. Coming in at number 5, we have the Winnipeg Jets, who have just taken over first place in the Central Division. 7-3-0 in their last 10 games. They've won 2 straight, and a very, very strong season for Winnipeg in general has continued into the new year, as they are one of the best teams in the Western Conference and playing very good hockey. Bit of a surprise here at number 4, but the Philadelphia Flyers are one of the hottest teams in the NHL. 7-3-0 in their last 10. They've won 3 straight. And all of a sudden, Philly, who so many of us thought was going to be one of the worst teams in the league this year, is back to 500 and somewhat still in that wild card playoff race. Now, they do have a lot of teams ahead of them that they would have to pass over, but they're not that far back of a wild card spot now. And, they're a team that is competitive night in and night out. They have certainly been, regardless of whether or not they make the playoffs, and I don't think they are going to, but irregardless of that, they're a very competitive team this year. They give teams tough games. They're in the game almost every night. And the Flyers are definitely a heck of a lot better than most of us thought they were going to be. Same record and streak for the Tampa Bay Lightning, coming in here at number 3, 7-3-0 in their last 10, 3-game winning streak. And Tampa continues to just be a very, very solid hockey team. They're maybe not as dominant as they have been in years past, especially if you go back to like 2020, 2021 years like that. But they're still a very, very good team. Firmly a playoff team again this year, playing solid hockey right now. And this team just seems to be able to cruise whenever they need to, right through the regular season. And then, obviously, we'll see what comes playoff time. But that seems to be, the real, when the real focus turns up and when the Lightning really start to play like the Lightning. Very similar spot to where they were last year. They finished 3rd in the division. They're 3rd in the division right now. And just a really solid hockey team that seems to be waiting for the postseason to come to really kick it into high gear. Number 2, the Boston Bruins. They continue to be the best team in the NHL. They've hit the 70-point mark already, and they are 7-1-2 in their last 10 games. After losing to Seattle, who we'll talk about in a minute, on Thursday, they come back with a big win over the Toronto Maple Leafs last night. And that gets them back in the win column on this list. And just the incredible season for the Boston Bruins continues this year, as they are now over 30 wins, up to 70 points, and just absolutely ripping through the regular season. But that leaves number 1, the team that I just mentioned, who just recently beat the Bruins, the Seattle Kraken. How about this Kraken team? 8-2-0 in their last 10 games. They've won 8 straight now. Obviously, the longest active winning streak in the NHL right now. Just ridiculously good start to 2023 for the Seattle Kraken. And they've been really solid all year long. It's not like this was a last place team that's now won 8 in a row. Like, they've had a very good season from the beginning. But they just seem to be getting even better. And now they're on this absolute heater. And they're moving up towards the top of the Western Conference. I mean, this is a team that legitimately could take over first place in the Western Conference with the way that they're playing. And actually, if you look at point percentage, they would be first in the West right now if you were going on point percentage. Now, they have a few less games played than some of the other teams around them, and for that reason, in the actual standings, they're back in second. But if you look at point percentage, they're the top team in the West right now, and this 8-game winning streak is a big reason why. Absolutely the hottest team in the NHL. Those are your hottest teams in the league right now: Seattle, Boston, Tampa, Philadelphia, and Winnipeg. Now we have to switch things over to the cold side, the teams that are not playing very well right now. And coming in at number 5, we have the Anaheim Ducks. They are 3-6-1 in their last 10 games. They've lost 3 in a row in regulation. And it's just been a very, very long year in Anaheim. That continues. They are definitely in the Bedard sweepstakes this year. Number 4, we have the Vancouver Canucks, another massively disappointing season in Vancouver, a team that was trying to be good this year, re-signed some big names like Brock Besser and JT Miller, and it has just fallen apart. Disastrous season for the Canucks, 3-7-0 in their last 10. They've lost 4 straight in regulation, almost certainly not going to make the playoffs. And it might be time to really blow things up in Vancouver. At number 3, we've got the Pittsburgh Penguins. They've really been struggling here recently. Just 2 wins in their last 10 games. 2-6-2 record with a 2-game losing streak now in regulation. And Pittsburgh is just, they've had some big highs this year and they've had some big lows this year. They've kind of been a roller coaster team. And this is one of those big dips that we have seen from the Penguins. Now, they still have plenty of time to pull themselves out of it, and they certainly are still right in the thick of the playoff race and actually are, likely still, to have a playoff spot as long as they can hold one of those wild card positions. When you look at point percentage, they're in okay shape, but have not been playing very well recently. And it's going to be a battle because the Islanders are there, the Capitals are there, the Rangers are there. It's going to be an absolute battle for the Penguins the rest of this season, and they need to start putting some more wins in the win column. Number 2, we've got the Montreal Canadiens, who have really, really dropped off lately, starting to look like maybe one of the bottom 5 teams. They weren't that way early in the year, but their last month or so has not been good for the Canadiens, and their last 10 games, they are 2-8-0. They lost their last game out and really struggling to find ways to win hockey games right now. And as this season's gone along, Montreal has really started to fall down to be one of the bottom teams looking in the Eastern Conference and in the NHL as a whole. But they're not number 1, and that is because number 1, absolutely brutal stretch for the Arizona Coyotes, 2-8-0 in their last 10. They have lost 8 straight games in regulation. No points in 8 straight games now for the Arizona Coyotes. And, this is a team that everyone knew wasn't going to be very good this year. But they've had points this season where they've pulled off some pretty impressive wins. This is not one of those points of the season. They have really been bad recently, not able to win at all. And, another team that is going to be in the draft lottery in the bottom, part of or early part of the draft, bottom part of the league, and have a shot potentially at getting Connor Bedard with that first overall pick. But Arizona, definitely a lottery team again this year. So those are your coldest teams in the NHL. The Coyotes, Canadiens, Penguins, Canucks, and Ducks are your coldest 5 right now across the league. So there are the hottest and coldest teams right now in the NHL. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. We'll take a look again next week and see how these things change. Obviously, some teams may flip their fortune around, start winning. Other teams start losing. And, this list will be different next week. But as of right now, those are your hot and cold teams, top 5s in the league at this moment. So with that, thank you guys so much. Hope you enjoyed the video. Please don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe. You can follow Off the Wall Hockey across social media using the Linktree link in the description. If you'd like to further support the channel, the links to our merchandise store, membership, and donations are down in the description as well. Please keep spreading the word about this channel. Let's keep this thing growing. Thank you guys so much again, and we'll talk to you all soon.